Hello to all my powerful Sigma ladies. Today we're diving into a topic that resonates deeply with many of us. Why do alpha females often feel uneasy or even threatened by us Sigma females? Our quiet strength, combined with independence and self-assurance, often shakes the very foundations of the social structures that alphas rely on for their own power. While we don't crave attention or dominance, our natural ability to command respect without demanding it can create friction, especially in environments where competition for control and influence is the norm. In a world that praises the loud, dominant alpha personality, the Sigma female represents an alternative form of leadership, one that doesn't depend on external validation. We are confident, self-reliant, and often misunderstood by those who feel the need to constantly assert their authority. But what exactly causes this tension? Why does the alpha female struggle to understand, or sometimes outright resent, the Sigma female's quiet power? The answer lies in the very nature of how we approach life, relationships, and power itself. Throughout this video, we'll break down the dynamics that often create conflict between alphas and sigmas. We'll explore why alpha females might feel jealousy, frustration, or even hostility toward us, and how our refusal to conform to traditional power structures disrupts the social hierarchy. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of your Sigma strength and how to embrace it without feeling the need to conform to the world's expectations. And of course, if you're ready to fully step into your Sigma power and continue uncovering the secrets of what it means to be a Sigma female, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community of Sigma ladies. Let's dive into this complex world of social dynamics together. 1. The silent power clash. Sigma females operate with a unique, quiet confidence that can be extremely unsettling to alpha females, who are often the most vocal and dominant people in any social or professional setting. Alphas typically gain power by asserting themselves, drawing attention, and taking control of situations. They rely on external recognition to solidify their status as leaders. This kind of dominance is based on visibility, being seen, heard, and acknowledged as the person in charge. But what happens when a Sigma female enters the same space? Sigmas don't need to assert control in the same overt way. Our power is subtle, often unnoticed at first, but undeniable over time. We don't engage in direct competition or seek validation from others. Instead, our strength comes from within, and it's based on self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and a deep sense of purpose. This kind of quiet confidence is not only different from the alpha's approach, it directly challenges it. Imagine an alpha female leading a team at work. She's in control, making decisions, and ensuring that everyone knows she's the leader. Then there's the Sigma female. She doesn't push for control, but when she speaks, her ideas are sharp, insightful, and command attention without her needing to raise her voice. Her words carry weight because of their precision, not because she's trying to dominate the conversation. The alpha might feel threatened, not because the Sigma is competing with her, but because the Sigma's power exists without the need for the same recognition. This silent power clash is not about direct conflict, it's about two different models of power. One that depends on being the loudest voice in the room, and one that thrives on quiet confidence and internal strength. Over time, people often gravitate toward the Sigma, not because she demands their loyalty, but because her calm, measured approach fosters respect in a way that feels genuine and unforced. This dynamic often creates friction, because the alpha female's usual methods of asserting control don't work on the Sigma. The Sigma doesn't react to pressure, manipulation, or confrontation in the same way others might. Instead, she stays grounded in her own sense of self, and that's exactly what makes her power so disarming. 2. The independence intimidation. One of the defining traits of a Sigma female is her fierce independence. We thrive in solitude, and we don't need others to validate our decisions or achievements. This kind of self-reliance can be incredibly intimidating to alpha females, who often build their power through group dynamics and influence over others. Alphas are natural leaders, but their leadership often depends on having followers, people who look to them for guidance, direction, and approval. In contrast, Sigma females don't seek out followers. We lead ourselves. Our decisions are based on our internal values and goals, not on what others expect from us. This independence can make alpha females feel irrelevant or even threatened. They are used to people seeking their approval or wanting to be part of their circle. But the Sigma doesn't need that. She operates on her own terms, and this autonomy can be confusing to those who rely on external validation for their sense of worth. Let's take a social example. Imagine an alpha female at a party, surrounded by people, organizing conversations, and ensuring she's the center of attention. She's in control of the social dynamic, and she thrives on being seen as the leader of the group. Then there's the Sigma female, standing on the outskirts, not seeking attention, but perfectly content in her own space. She doesn't need to be part of the group to enjoy herself, and her lack of need for external validation is what makes her so intriguing. This independence doesn't just apply to social situations, it's a way of life. In professional settings, the alpha female might build her career by forming alliances, leading teams, and ensuring that others recognize her authority. The Sigma female, on the other hand, is more likely to work independently, excelling through her own efforts without needing to lead a team or be recognized as the boss. Her focus is on mastering her craft and achieving her goals, not on building a network of influence. This self-sufficiency can make alpha females feel as though their power is slipping away. If the Sigma doesn't need them, what role do they play? The alpha's reliance on external validation and social structures for her power contrasts sharply with the Sigma's internal focus. The Sigma is not competing for the same kind of recognition, but her quiet independence can still overshadow the alpha's efforts to assert dominance. The Sigma doesn't seek power, but by not needing it, she often ends up with more influence than those who chase it. 3. The unshakable aura. Sigma females have an unshakable aura of calm and control. We are not easily rattled by external pressures, and our emotional resilience sets us apart from others who might be more easily swayed by their environment. This kind of emotional intelligence can be incredibly frustrating for alpha females, who sometimes thrive on being able to provoke reactions or manipulate emotions to maintain control. Consider a scenario where an alpha female tries to assert her dominance by stirring up competition or conflict. She might push people's buttons, expecting them to react in a way that affirms her control. But the Sigma doesn't play into these emotional games. She remains calm, focused, and unaffected by the drama. This emotional detachment isn't about apathy. It's about maintaining inner peace and not allowing external forces to dictate her state of mind. This emotional resilience is a core strength of the Sigma female. It's what allows her to navigate challenging situations without being overwhelmed by them. Alpha females, who often use emotional tactics to maintain their power, can find this frustrating because their usual methods of control don't work on the Sigma. The Sigma doesn't react to manipulation, confrontation, or pressure in the same way others might. Instead, she stays grounded in her own sense of self, and that makes her nearly impossible to control. This unshakable calm is rooted in a deep understanding of oneself. Sigmas know who they are and what they stand for, and they don't need external validation to feel secure in that identity. This makes them impervious to the kinds of power plays that others might fall for. Alpha females, who often rely on their ability to manipulate social dynamics, find themselves at a loss when faced with a Sigma who simply doesn't engage in the same way. This dynamic can create tension because the Sigma's calm presence challenges the Alpha's need for control. The Sigma's ability to remain composed in the face of conflict or competition undermines the Alpha's efforts to dominate the situation. The Sigma isn't interested in power struggles. She's focused on her own path, and that makes her a formidable presence in any social or professional environment. 4. Confidence without the noise. One of the most distinctive traits of a Sigma female is her quiet confidence. While alpha females are known for their loud, assertive displays of confidence, Sigmas carry themselves with a more reserved, yet deeply rooted sense of self-assurance. This doesn't mean we lack strength, quite the opposite. Our confidence comes from knowing who we are and what we're capable of, without needing to broadcast it to the world. Alpha females often assert their dominance through visible displays of power. They make sure everyone knows they're in charge, whether it's through their words, actions, or the sheer force of their personality. This kind of bold confidence is what makes them stand out in a crowd. But the Sigma doesn't need to be the center of attention to feel powerful. Her confidence is quiet, but it's also unshakable. Imagine an alpha female at a social event, holding court, engaging with everyone, and making sure her presence is known. She thrives on being the most visible and dominant person in the room. Then there's the Sigma female, quietly observing, engaging when she feels like it, but not seeking the same kind of attention. Her confidence doesn't need to be loud because it comes from a place of deep inner strength. People notice her presence not because she's demanding attention, but because her calm, grounded energy naturally draws people in. This quiet confidence can be more powerful than the loud, assertive displays of the alpha. The Sigma doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, and that makes her confidence feel more genuine and enduring. Alpha females, who often rely on external validation to maintain their sense of power, may feel threatened by the Sigma's ability to command respect without needing to assert dominance. The Sigma doesn't compete for attention. She naturally attracts it, and that can make the alpha feel overshadowed, even though the Sigma isn't trying to compete at all. 5. The lone wolf effect. Sigma females are known for their ability to thrive in solitude. We don't need a group or community to feel validated, and this self-reliance sets us apart from other social archetypes, especially alpha females. While alphas often build their power through their social networks, gathering people around them to amplify their influence, Sigmas move through the world with a deep sense of autonomy. We are the lone wolves, comfortable in our own company, and that independence can be deeply unsettling to those who rely on group dynamics to assert their power. In social situations, an alpha female might gather people around her, ensuring that she's the leader of the group. She thrives on being the center of attention and uses her influence over others to maintain her status. The Sigma, on the other hand, is content being on the sidelines, observing rather than leading. She doesn't need the validation of a group to feel secure in herself, and her independence can make the alpha feel irrelevant. This dynamic can be seen in professional settings as well. While alphas may build their careers by leading teams, networking, and forming alliances, the Sigma often excels through her own efforts, working independently and achieving success on her terms. She doesn't need a large team to feel accomplished, and she doesn't seek out leadership roles for the sake of power. Instead, she focuses on mastering her craft and achieving her personal goals, and that self-sufficiency can make the alpha feel as though her methods of gaining power are less effective. The Sigma's ability to function as a lone wolf is one of her greatest strengths. She doesn't need to rely on others to validate her decisions or support her ambitions. This independence is not only refreshing, but also intimidating to those who depend on social structures for their sense of power. The Sigma doesn't play by the same rules, and that makes her an unpredictable and powerful force in any environment. 6. Refusing the social hierarchy. One of the most defining characteristics of a Sigma female is her refusal to play by the traditional social rules. We don't need to be at the top of the social ladder, nor do we care to climb it. In a world where social hierarchies dominate, this attitude is revolutionary. Alphas, who thrive on being at the top of the hierarchy, find this disregard for status unsettling and threatening. For alpha females, power is often about being recognized as the leader. They work hard to assert their dominance and maintain control over social dynamics, whether in personal relationships, at work, or in social settings. But the Sigma operates outside of this system. She doesn't care about being at the top because she doesn't see herself as part of the same competition. For the Sigma, power isn't something that needs to be demonstrated. It's something she already has within herself. This refusal to engage in the social hierarchy can be deeply unsettling for alpha females, who are used to people either following them or competing with them for power. When a Sigma female enters the picture, she doesn't challenge the alpha's authority, but she doesn't acknowledge it either. She simply exists outside of the system, creating her own rules and living life on her terms. This can make the alpha feel irrelevant because the sigma isn't playing the same game, and yet, she still commands respect and influence without trying. In many social situations, alphas are focused on asserting their dominance and securing their place at the top. They often see life as a competition where they must continuously prove their worth to others. But the sigma operates outside of this framework. She doesn't see herself as part of the same competition because she's not interested in winning or losing. She's just focused on being true to herself. This makes the sigma a powerful disruptor of the traditional social order because she challenges the very notion of what it means to be powerful. 7. Minimal drama, maximum focus. Sigma females are known for avoiding unnecessary drama and toxic competition. We don't engage in petty conflicts or power struggles because we're focused on more important things: our goals, our personal growth, and our journey. Alphas, on the other hand, sometimes thrive in environments where competition and confrontation are the norm. For them, these power struggles are a way to assert dominance and maintain control. But for the sigma, these distractions are just that: distractions. In a work setting, for example, an alpha female might engage in office politics, using subtle manipulation to secure her position or influence others. She thrives in an environment where competition is encouraged, and she often sees these power games as necessary to maintaining her authority. But the sigma female doesn't get involved in these games. She's focused on doing her work, improving her skills, and reaching her own goals. She's not interested in competing with others for power because she doesn't need external validation to feel successful. This focus on personal growth over social dominance can make alpha females feel like their efforts to assert control are being ignored or undermined. The sigma isn't playing the same game, and that in itself can be frustrating for the alpha, who's used to engaging in power struggles to maintain her position. The sigma's ability to stay focused and avoid drama makes her a powerful force. Even though she's not actively trying to assert dominance, she simply doesn't need to. This minimal drama approach is also a key factor in the sigma's long-term success. By avoiding unnecessary conflicts and staying focused on what truly matters, the sigma is able to achieve her goals without getting caught up in the distractions that often derail others. Alphas, who sometimes thrive on competition and confrontation, may find it difficult to understand how the sigma can be so successful without engaging in the same power dynamics. But the truth is, the sigma's success comes from her ability to stay focused on her own journey, rather than getting entangled in the drama around her. 8. Mystery versus transparency. One of the most intriguing qualities of a sigma female is her air of mystery. We're not as easy to read as other people because we don't lay all our cards on the table. Alphas, by contrast, are often very transparent about their intentions. They want power, leadership, and recognition, and they make no secret of it. But for sigmas, our motivations aren't always obvious, and this unpredictability keeps others, especially alpha females, on edge. In a world where people often wear their ambitions and desires on their sleeves, the sigma's ability to remain mysterious can be unsettling. Alphas, who are used to controlling the social narrative, find it difficult to predict or manipulate someone they can't fully understand. The sigma's actions are often guided by her internal values and goals, rather than a desire to conform to external expectations. This makes her hard to anticipate, and for those who thrive on understanding and controlling others, this unpredictability can feel like a threat. The sigma's mystery isn't about deception, it's about autonomy. We don't feel the need to explain ourselves to others or seek validation for our choices. This can make alpha females feel powerless because they can't figure out what the sigma's next move will be, and that makes it hard to engage in the usual social dynamics that alphas are so skilled at navigating. This sense of mystery is one of the sigma female's greatest strengths. By keeping her motivations and intentions private, she maintains control over her own narrative. Others may try to figure her out, but the sigma is always one step ahead, guiding her own path without needing to conform to anyone else's expectations. This unpredictability can be both intriguing and intimidating to those who are used to being able to read and manipulate social situations to their advantage. 9. Respect without the fight. One of the most powerful traits of a Sigma female is her ability to command respect naturally, without having to fight for it. We don't need to demand recognition or assert ourselves to be seen as leaders. Instead, people respect us for our quiet confidence, our integrity, and our ability to lead by example. This effortless respect can make alpha females feel like their hard-earned status is being undermined. Alphas often work tirelessly to build their influence, whether through leadership roles, public recognition, or social dominance. They've fought hard to be where they are, and they expect to be recognized for it. But the Sigma doesn't need to engage in these power struggles to gain respect. Her actions, values, and quiet strength speak for themselves, and people naturally gravitate toward her without her needing to assert dominance. This dynamic can create tension because the alpha female, who has worked so hard to assert her authority, may feel like her efforts are being overshadowed by someone who isn't even trying. The Sigma doesn't compete for respect, she simply receives it, and that can make the alpha's quest for power feel less significant in comparison. This respect without the fight is one of the Sigma female's most powerful qualities. It's what allows her to navigate social and professional environments with ease, commanding the admiration of others without needing to assert her dominance. While alpha females may thrive on the recognition and status that come with being at the top of the social hierarchy, the Sigma doesn't need those external markers of success to feel accomplished. Her power comes from within, and that makes her influence even more potent. 10. The quiet disruptor. While alpha females are often the center of attention in a loud, bold way, Sigma females disrupt the social order without saying a word. We don't need to be loud to challenge the status quo. Our mere presence can be enough to shift the dynamics of a room. We're disruptors in the best sense, challenging norms and expectations simply by existing in our own space, on our own terms. Imagine a social setting where the alpha female is used to being the leader, directing conversations and making decisions. When a Sigma enters the room, she doesn't need to challenge the alpha directly, but her very presence can change the dynamics. People notice the Sigma's calm, confident energy, and that quiet strength can shift attention away from the alpha without a single word being spoken. This kind of quiet disruption can feel threatening to an alpha, who relies on maintaining control. The Sigma doesn't need to fight for that control. She simply exists outside of it, creating a ripple effect wherever she goes. Her independence, confidence, and calmness make her a force to be reckoned with, even without her trying. This is the essence of the Sigma female's power. It's not about fighting for dominance, but about embodying strength and self-assurance in a way that naturally disrupts the established order. This quiet disruption is what makes the Sigma such a powerful presence. She doesn't need to engage in power struggles or assert her dominance to have an impact. Her very existence challenges the traditional social dynamics that others rely on, and that makes her a unique and formidable force in any environment. And there you have it, Sigma ladies. We've uncovered the deeper dynamics of why alpha females can sometimes feel so threatened by our quiet strength. Maybe the answers were clear, or maybe you're still reflecting, but always remember, true power doesn't come from loudness or external control. It comes from inner confidence and unshakable calm. Your journey as a Sigma female is one of self-discovery and embracing your own unique power. Never forget, your journey as a Sigma female is ongoing, and with every step, you're learning to become the woman who doesn't need applause or approval because you already know your value. If you enjoyed this video and are ready to continue unlocking the secrets of the Sigma world, hit that subscribe button and always stay ahead, far from the false lights. See you in the next adventure, my leading Sigma ladies.